Hey everybody, welcome back to the stream. I am your host Kushan. Um, Today I am going to be playing Under African Skies 2017 by Felton. This is the release candidate 2 for version 1.1, build 803. It is early Tuesday morning, January 31st, 2017. You are the 4-star general officer in command of the Joint/Combined United States Africa Command. You left your offices at Kelly Barracks outside of Stuttgart, Germany early yesterday and have established a forward command post at RAF Ascension Island. You report directly to the Secretary of Defense. Blah, 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 blah. Commands under me. Some European countries have already signed on. The Brits have had ships moving before the U.S. declaration of war. So I thought that there was an actual explanation of what goes on. But essentially, for those that don't know the background of this scenario, there was basically a terrorist attack in the United States, I believe at the Super Bowl, um, that was basically orchestrated by basically a terrorist group in Western Africa, basically the analog of ISIS in this setup. Um, so basically, the United States basically declares war on them, an actual official declaration of war. There's also been an attack on the Eiffel Tower in Paris, and basically the French basically have sent their own units, but they're not actually part of this combined effort. Basically, as a matter of pride. So, anyways, back to the explanation of what we have here. U.S. forces are assembling and are on the move. There are 2 carrier battle groups en route, but won't be in the area for another 3 to 4 days. Land units are being embarked in Conus and will load onto transports within 2 to 3 weeks. So we've already have some tankers and strike aircraft. We have an expeditionary strike group. So about 90% of your personnel in command are unaware of your greatest asset. Under an operation codenamed Tangent, the CIA was able to establish an extensive human intelligence network prior to the collapse of the former Nigerian government. Tangent is largely staffed by Nigerian personnel augmented with CIA covert ops and special operations personnel. At this juncture, Tangent is an intelligence gathering network, but will soon expand into a full-scale paramilitary organization. Um, so there's our phase one, and our operations to be conducted in 3 phases. The Nigerian warplane codenamed Perfect Storm calls for phase one. Operation Oregon Rain, 1 to 3 day duration. Establish air superiority. Um, Support tangent elements, degrade C3 capability, degrade oil and gas revenue capability. Operation Forward to Thunder, basically is when the carrier battle groups arrive. And Operation Heartland, basically is when the ground forces arrive. We're only concerned with phase one. This scenario doesn't last in basic. This scenario basically only lasts in for this phase. Um, it doesn't go into the phase 2 or 3. All right, so our forces, we'll go into that when we actually start here. So we have an expeditionary strike group, task group 6.50, which consists of, it's basically the Bataan Expeditionary Group. We've got the Monterey CG. We've got the Mount Whitney command ship, LPD, LSDs. But our greatest asset's really the Bataan with the F-35s on it. That's basically our little mini carrier. We've got some MV-22s, couple of Venoms, and then a couple of upgraded AH-1 Cobras. All right, and then some drones. And then the French have a battle group basically up here. They're actually allied to us. They're not on their own. They're on their own side, but we're just going to leave them do their things because there is some scripting involved with them. And we've got The British over here with basically a Type 45 destroyer, a couple of frigates, and an AoE. All right. And then down here at Ascension, basically we have some tankers. We've got B-52s with AGM-86s. Should be noticed these are not nuclear armed. 3,000-pound warhead though. Damn. And then we also have two B2s with JASMs, P8s with slammers. So let's go ahead and kind of get started here. So task force, all of our task forces already have kind of assignments. Over here, to remain at anchor. Oh, basically we have the USNS Comfort, which is a hospital ship. Basically doing Ebola stuff over here. A couple of Cyclone patrol craft. That looks like just a supply group guarded by a couple of LCSs. All right, so the French are launching helicopters. Should be noted that there are also some Chinese forces basically in the area. Basically, China's invested heavily in the area. So we are going to actually have to sort of watch what we attack. So, to Commander AFRICOM from OSD, Operation Rain, Oregon Rain mission initiation. You may begin offensive operations for Oregon Rain on or about 0700 Zulu. On or about this date as circumstances dictate. Details for elements of the Oregon Rain mission. Basically are basically telling us what we need to do for our phase one. So we have to basically hit some airfields and support these special operations units. So what do we have over here? So we have National Monument, the CWA War College, SAM Battalion. Already have some bogies up. Yeah, like right here. China Navy Command and Staff Training set up. CW Naval HQ. All right, so let's get started. Let's start moving some of our tangent units around. We can use these guys to hopefully provide bomb damage assessments. Why is it not letting me? I don't want to select the LZ. I want that guy. So move him over there to observe that airport. All right, we'll just leave the rest kind of scattered around for now. All right, so we've already identified some hostile aircraft. ATR Maritime Patrol Aircraft. Those may be Chinese, I can't tell. They are J7s, so they are Chinese, but whether they're hostile to me or not, I don't know at this time. I am going to turn on my own radars. Okay, so we have identified basically those guys as neutrals. And so first things first here, I guess what we should do is start getting our support missions set up. So let's go ahead and define an area about halfway. That's going to be our air refueling point. We're going to assign all of my KC-135s to it, except for the two that are unavailable. And there's really no kind of customs I want to set. This isn't going to be for any one particular mission. We'll set it to 1/3, so we should have 2 tankers up at any one time. And then let's find an airbase. So what are these? These are, so we got SA2 copies, so not great SAM systems from the looks of things. What's the attack range on our B-52 missiles? So our B-52s, let's see, those have a strike range. Oh, easier to do this. Internal rotary, okay. So 4,600 nautical miles, approximately. All right, that should be plenty of range. How far away are we? Oh, 1,400 nautical miles to go. So we have more than enough range on our B-52s to strike. And our B-2s with JASM. Our B-52s, our B-2s will actually be stretching it just a little bit, but they should be okay as well. So we're going to pick, let's find an airbase. Oh, we're going to kind of strike, should get fighters up first. So we only have 6 armed F-22s. They're just armed for standard cap. The rest are set up for with JDAMs for strikes. I'm going to launch this in a group of 2. we have over here? Type 52. So we do have a what looks like a Chinese surface action group somewhere in this area. To Commander AFRICOM from Tangent. In addition to positions, locations are already being fed to J2. The following background intelligence is provided. Ooh. So CWA, the CWA Army is an odd mix of Boko Haram organization and equipment captured from the Nigerian Army. The organization is largely tribal in nature and is not organized in a fashion similar to US, NATO, or any other major nation. The CW Navy, mostly Nigerian vessels and virtually all of the country's merchant vessels fled to foreign ports. The Nigerian Navy and merchant marine were viewed by CW leadership as far too Western in outlook due to training, port calls, influence, etc. There are about 6 vessels remaining. These operate with CW crews heavily augmented by Chinese advisors, essentially being built from scratch. The Air Force is largely Sub-Saharan Africa. So basically, we're going to be facing Chinese equipment. Chinese Civil and Military Assistant Group. There are an estimated 40,000 to 45,000 Chinese nationals. The Chinese Army runs the command staff school for the CWA Army and provides local security. Chinese Navy runs command staff school. All right, so basically they're training terrorists. Okay. All right, so we do have some surface ships that seem to be alternating between hostile and non-hostile over here. French are launching Tiger strikes versus a bunch of merchant ships basically sitting at or oil rigs. Sorry. Uh-oh. The French are under attack by something. They have missiles incoming. Oh, looks like a sub. Like a sub got in and started launching torpedoes and missiles against it. Unknown class. Hey, Nex. Welcome to the stream. Well, they've got more missiles coming in. Well, the French are screwed. Should we note the French don't have a carrier, they just have a surface group and a Mistral, or yeah, Mistral. Oh, incoming vampires. Oh. Alright, so I've got my first flight of F-35s, kind of maneuvering. Up and so a lot of missiles coming in on their battle group. They're getting closer now. What were those nukes? No, those weren't nukes. Yeah, so their battle group's gonna not exist after this. So they're just down to, looks like an AO. Not sure what the Durance is. Durances are Oiler, so they've got an AO and they look like they still have their Mistral. But that's not going to last. Their escorts are gone. Here comes another wave of missiles. Yeah, it's just a matter of time now. Next, this is Under African Skies by Felton. It's actually, I think one of his. It's actually not in the scenario pack or in the community pack for whatever reason. I'm not quite sure why, but I had a copy still on my hard drive, and it can still be found on the forums relatively easy. This is a French battle group that has pretty much just been racked, as you pointed out. All right, so where are my F-35s at now? Did I lose them when I wasn't paying attention? Or no, what are they doing? Did I accidentally order my F-35s back to base or something? I don't remember doing that. Okay. I don't remember ordering them back to base, but that's what happened. That's what happened. All right, so the French pretty much just got wrecked. Not quite why sure. These keep alternating between hostile. That's strange. Okay, so they still have their Mistral, but they're probably not going to. The French probably aren't going to keep it. And probably time I get my own strike set up here. A little curious why those two F-35s returned to base. I don't remember them. And the reserve unavailable? Okay, that's something might have happened when I upgraded this scenario from the it's not it hasn't actually been rebuilt. I just updated it to the first database and got some errors and thought I'd fixed them. But okay, so don't actually have I do have AMRAMs. Oh, something must have changed in the between the loadouts and what Felton has on his magazines between now and then. So what happens when you use so I'm gonna re-ready these guys. I am playing in editor mode just in case something like this happened. So actually I think these are the wrong F-35s too. Yeah, these should have a lot more 120D. I'm not seeing any internal loadouts for these. Oh, right there. Ready immediately. Ready arm. Oh, keep hitting the wrong button. Ignore magazine. All right, so this isn't actually the game's fault, guys. This is just the fact that the scenario is kind of outdated and hasn't been updated in a while. This was built for many, many versions ago. All right, so we have a new group of F-35s up. And let's pick out. So I only have 4, I think, F-35s set up for strike mode. Right? Yeah, I only have 4 of my F-35s ready for an internal strike. So let's go pick a SAM battery. Don't care about the radar. I really want that SAM battalion. Add new mission. All right, so we're gonna assign my 4 F-35s basically to knock out that SAM battery, and then I'll send in and then I should really get my B2s up. So let's see, I have 8, or I've got 7 available, so we'll launch them. Um, Given our other issues, I'm going to rearm these guys just to make sure there's no other issues. Launch them as a group of 3. Launch that as a group of 3. And the B2s will launch as a group of 2. All right, so B2s or B52s are airborne. Snake, you can have, I mean, all the land units are available. You can have land, you can have, there are tanks, there's infantry. Um, but for instance, like you can actually have infantry like go inside of a building. All right, so our strike is inbound to take out the SAM battery around the Murtala Muhammad International Airport. Our F-35s are closing in to begin engaging with AMRAAMs. There are times I fail to see how an AIM-120 can miss a maritime patrol aircraft. All right, but they're moving to engage. That's an F7. Those are both F7s. All right, so they're returning to base.